Hello and welcome disc golf fans to the front nine coverage of round 2 of the 2021 Stafford Open, presented by Innova Champion Discs. I'm Brian Earhart, joined here by fellow lefty co-commentator Nathan Queen. Nathan, how you doing?
Doing well. We saw lots of birdies in that first round, and I expect to see more here today.
Yeah, we have another round of disc golf. A little bit shaky weather that the players had to potentially deal with. We have our lead card here. Matt Orum, 13 under first round. Justin Rosak, 10 down. Michael Johansen and Chris Villa at 9 under par.
Yeah, going into this round, it's a little warmer today, but the humidity seemed to be down, so didn't feel quite as hot, but you're still getting a little sweaty. And the tee pads still could be a little bit slick with those pavers that they've got going on. Going into hole 1, 309 feet. Again, a tight start off of the tee. Ideally, you want to go right of the 2 trees that the drone just passed and just kind of slide up. Use the ground to slow down once you get to the green.
Round 2 of the Stafford Open for 2021. Our lead card for MPO is now going to tee off. First on the tee pad, representing Mobile, Alabama, Matt Orum.
Well tied.
Matt has had a really wonderful spot in the spotlight, I guess you could say, recently. One of my favorite people in the sport of disc golf to either, just watch throw a disc and also just to listen to him commentate his own play.
And this is the gap I was talking about. He has done it perfectly.
Look at that.
Shows you what we got to miss the first round in his 13 down.
Next up on our tee pad from Zionsville, Pennsylvania, Justin Rosak.
Yeah, a bit more local to this area than the rest of our card. We have Chris Villa probably being the other local here. But, yeah, haven't seen too much of Justin on camera, but
A good stand up there, just a bit too flippy. Able to miss everything, though, and he'll have a circle 2 look, a little obstructed.
Next up is our defending champion of the 2020 Stafford Open from North Carolina, Michael Johansen.
And no surprise for myself or a lot of other people to see MJ up here. North Carolina has wooded lines very similar to this, so happy to get to watch him again.
ooh, and just overturned just a tiny bit.
And fourth on the tee box, our 2-time Stafford Open winner, Philadelphia area favorite, Chris Villa.
Chris Villa still feeling good after his Masters Worlds showing, able to make lead card at his next event.
He looked super under control last round. Threw a lot of really beautiful putter patent pending shots. Threw a lot of great hyzer stand-ups. Ooh, just a bit too much fade, but still might make circle 1 there.
Yeah, just on the other side of that log, he'll have to deal with those trees, but he still could have a clean look at it.
Ooh, MJ playing a little ultimate, popping a putter up to the basket.
Yeah, great touch there. And we'll see, both of us see Justin Rosak long putt for the first time. Kind of a fast spin, just nose down a little bit on it, wasn't able to get it to carry.
And Villa is going to start with a par most likely here. Hole 1 averaged directly on the nose at a 3.0. Seems about right. Very, very specific line you have to hit to get up to this basket. We still haven't gotten to Matty O's lie yet. Matt throws the absolute perfect line, and he is 2 feet for a tap-in birdie. And the man has moved to 14 under.
That moves us into hole 2, 509 feet. Par 4, once you get to this gap right here, you kind of want to just maintain a straight flight. You don't want to move too far right or left. And then you'll have a righty forehand or a left to right moving shot into the green. Pretty short hole, so as long as you get past that first gap, it's pretty easy, or not easy, but it's very attainable to get up there.
Yeah, I feel like this is pretty typical for par fours out here, is to have kind of a tight wooded gap, kind of a tough specific line, and then you have to scramble no matter what on your second. Matt going a little too straight, it almost seems like, on that one.
Yeah, he wanted it to drift just a bit further right. It looks like he split that first V tree that you're supposed to get left or right of, and then caught another one. Just a little inside for Justin, but there is, you can see the tee pad behind him, so there is kind of that line to the basket from there, just a little more pinched off since he's further back. MJ not going for distance at all. Also splits that first V tree, it looks like.
And he might have to throw another forehand from there. Maybe a thumber like we saw yesterday.
I would like to see it again. Would only be the second one.
Just a nice compact throw there from Chris. Just a smooth drift right and just hits one of those middle trees. But it's almost inevitable when you look at the elbow how many little trees there are scattered amongst that fairway.
Yeah, this is one of the tighter gaps that you have to hit from the tee pad.
And he's going to put that patent pending a little bit short. Still a run at the basket. Ooh, clean turnover. Oh, yeah, what a shot from Justin Rosak.
Yeah, very touchy shot there. You can't turn it over too much or it'll just dig right down, and he gets it to float over to about 15 feet.
Okay, so this is doable for Matt. He's got to really chop it on that Anheuser.
So pretty. Very stable disc, and he didn't use much speed at all. That was all a little wrist flick right there at the end.
Yeah, kind of just karate chopped it on the Anheuser and let the stability of the disc do the work after that. And here's MJ having to go to the sidearm again. He's been really impressing us this week with that sidearm. Oh, and he was so close.
Just misses by 6 inches or so. Villa with his second circle 2 look of the round. This one a bit further than hole 1. And with his style of putt, that's a pretty common miss that I've seen so far from him in the last few weeks of coverage.
Okay, so MJ's still within reach. 50 feet. Little straddle.
And this would be a great scramble birdie to get.
Ooh, and he misses on the weak side.
Yeah, just a bit soft. He was stretching pretty far out, it looked like, to get around that tree.
Looks like Justin might be able to take a stroke on him on this hole. And he's going to have to take every opportunity that he can.
So as short as the hole is, we're only going to see one birdie on it here. Showing you that tight gap off the tee can cause you some issues. I think it's a great entry par 4 into the course.
Most definitely. And hole number 3, it's a very specific shot. We saw Michael Johansen park it yesterday with a Comet Heiser. This fairway bends left, but the basket kind of dead ends right here, so you don't get to throw something too overstable on the hyzer. You have to kind of push something forward at it. Ooh, and look at this line from Justin.
Yeah, and this should hyzer in right on the chips.
Oh, wow. Let's take a look at Justin's throw. We haven't seen too much of him. And we're going to catch him from kind of a front diagonal angle. But look at his arm motion. The thing I like about his throw, it's kind of unique. Actually, very simple on that throw. That was really clean looking. Beautiful shot from Justin.
It looks like Matty O is trying to line up a bit more of a hyzer stand-up shot rather than a pushing hyzer.
Oh, he's trying to get it to flip to flat as he was going left.
He's pulled it just a bit wide. Looks like he did stay in bounds. Pretty easy 3 from there.
Justin is probably going to take another stroke on him being about 5 feet from the basket. And MJ just has this line dialed. 25 feet short for the birdie look.
I did a lot of that fanning while I was out there. Trying to get your hand ready is a little bit tough. And he's pulled this a little wide. Oh, he's able to sneak through a little bit. He'll have his third circle 2 look of the round. See if he's got it dialed in yet.
I love how Matt has the baby stroller that he's pushing his discs around in. And I believe that was a jewel bag or a grocery bag that he also has in there as well. That's class.
The baby stroller's the original disc golf cart.
That's right. Oh, let's go.
What a putt from Chris Villa. I was able to watch this one from a different hole.
What a shot. And he was reining him in all day yesterday, too. He loves that distance.
Yeah, just an Annie kind of step jump putt. Puts it on a perfect line, and he is pumped to get that one in. I would be, too.
What a putt. MJ doesn't want to get big putted. Cashes in his first birdie of the round.
And I want to say a bit of a tester here, but Matty O's a pretty good putter, so I'm sure he's not super concerned about it.
He's also about 6'5", so the elevated basket probably seems decently normal for him. Perfect putt for the par. But Justin is going to take another stroke on him here. He's going to make it a 2-stroke ball game. And he's throwing the disc really well right now.
And taking us into hole 4, your first taste of some grass on the course, which is a good change. You get up to about this corner here. If you throw a fast enough disc, you could get a good skip to just make your upshot just a bit easier. But about 290, and you've got a pretty easy birdie putt.
Wow, Justin is really...
Yeah, that's about 320 instead of 290. He'll have a shorter upshot there. Be able to see the gap and the basket.
And that's a beautiful drive. I believe that is an MJ Scorch, which is a glidey newer disc from Discraft. And MJ says he has been loving that disc. Kind of feels like a heat that's been stretched out to an 11 speed.
Yeah, it stood up nice and had lots of glide on it, it looked like. Chris, this is just a little inside left. He'll be a little more pinched off, but there's still a hyzer for him into the basket.
Yeah, he'll pretty much get to throw 2 of the same shot. Matt, a little bit low, but still going to work for him. Gets the flare. Yeah, puts him to a great spot.
A bit surprised that flared like that. That was a little low to get the flare. This grass is pretty thick.
Oh, and another standstill from Chris. This looks
This
fantastic.
So good.
Wow. You're starting to see, the more we see him on camera, his specialties are starting to come out.
And one of MJ's specialties, the purple banger.
Puts him to about 20, 25 feet for birdie as well. And Justin's put his drive to an even better spot than Matty O, so Matt knows that he can't let Justin close the gap any more than he already has.
This looks pretty ideal. I think he's going to be within 5 feet or so.
Yeah, I would say within 3 feet. That's parked for birdie. Now the pressure's on Justin.
And kind of the first slip up we've seen.
See if he can cash in.
Yeah, pretty easy upshot there. And good confident run there. You could tell he knew he missed it, but it wasn't low. It's always good to make sure you give it a chance.
MJ.
Picking up the mini as it goes in.
And I suspect we're going to see some pushes from MJ and Chris today as well.
Yeah, lots of birdies out here.
Lots of
And all it
birdies.
really takes is one bad kick on one of these holes, and you could lose 2 strokes pretty quickly if you don't scramble out of it well.
Justin's got a 20, 25 footer again for his comeback.
It's in.
Snags it on the weak side.
And the second tap-in birdie we've seen from Matty out there.
The XT Nova, it taught me how to throw smooth, clean lines, but it also taught me how to build trust in my disc. I can put it on any line and it will hold it. I know when I throw it, it's gonna stick right there. I feel like it's very unique, and it kind of reminds me like nobody's ever the same. That's what I love about it. It stands out. And for me as a person, I like to stand out.
Moving into hole 5, 611 feet. Just want to get off of the fairway, about 300 feet or so. Just not test the OB too much. You can push it further if you're comfortable with it. The further you get down the fairway, the easier the gap will be. Also, the further left you can stay.
Yeah.
Kind of keeps that gap more open.
Yeah, we saw yesterday, MJ's not trying, at all to bite off any distance here. And we watched almost everyone in our card throw a forehand on their second shot. It's not that long of a par 4. The trouble is when you get up to the basket, like we saw Matt Bell do yesterday, pushing it long OB. That should be just fine.
Yeah, he's pushed it a little further than MJ. One of the problems staying further back on the fairway is you can catch those trees on your upshot, and it is possible for them to kick you OB if you are unfortunate enough. So it does help to get a little further down the fairway, but it's not always necessary.
Yeah, Matt's thrown a pretty simple hyzer inbounds. Wonder if Justin's going to bite off a bit more. Just a bit. Still a simple hyzer.
Yeah, it didn't look like he tried much harder, but I think he's got 20 or 30 feet on the furthest other throw there.
And MJ with the sidearm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and a good shot. Seems like he may have left his tee shot a bit further back, though, and wasn't quite able to get all the way up there. He's a great putter, though, so No worries for him. Villa with the standstill backhand. This has that kick potential to go OB.
Sit down. Okay, so he's still putting from circle 2, but like you said, especially spinning clockwise like that, he could have easily kicked left. And Matt has kicked off a tree, but he is going to be putting for birdie here.
And Justin not able to hit that gap as well. He doesn't move forward, though. He'll have a harder putt. Looks like he's right at 67 feet.
And that's going to be a sad 4. You know, he was hoping to get past that tree that he kicked.
Oh, and a great bid there. Had lots of speed on it. Would have been tough for it to catch. But great to catch something there. He was definitely committed to it.
When MJ is on fire, it is such a spectacle. The way he releases his putts and the way he throws spin putts that drop into the basket, it's so pretty to watch. That's 3 in a row for MJ.
All right, and Matt able to get 2 in a row for the first time this round. See if he can get a birdie streak going. And yeah, once you land in bounds on this hole, getting a par doesn't feel good.
Exactly. That's kind of what I was mentioning with Justin. Like, you know, he feels like he took a bogey.
So far, I've gone OB and taken a par and landed in bounds and taken a par. I would have rather just gone OB twice.
Hole number 6, 781. Kind of a similar tee shot than the previous hole, but you need to bite off a bit more distance to put it in the middle. And then you have a decision to make. Do you challenge the right side with a power low ceiling hyzer, or do you try to throw this flip up right at this tiered wedding cake green? This is a tough hole.
It's very hard to access the top of the green unless you push it 400, 430 feet and stay right side.
Exactly.
Boom.
And MJ's thrown a great drive here. A little flip up, glide, push forward.
Yeah, he'll still have 450 feet or so into the green from there. It is downhill, so it plays a little fast. Let's see if Matteo can push it a little further down. Oh, and it stands up too much. I don't think this is coming back.
Oh, and he has gone out of bounds. He's gone out of bounds way back there.
Yeah, that's not going to be... Unless he pulls off something crazy, that's not a par. That's not a par save chance.
That'll be his first bogey of the tournament. And Chris.
Oh, it looks like he's done the same thing. So trying to be aggressive and stay on this right side of the fairway is what these guys are doing. And it's pretty touchy. And this is looking fantastic.
Oh, no way! He was 6 inches from hitting the short grass and skipping in bounds. If he sees this coverage, he is going to be heartbroken to see where that landed.
Oh, just an inch or two higher, and he's going to be in the ideal spot to attack the green for a birdie. But now he's going to be in a similar spot to Villa and Matteo.
Oh, no. So Matt's going to have to get up and down from there for bogey. Ooh, Justin going with a long panning sidearm. Doesn't quite have what it takes to come out. Hopefully it cut rolled back to the middle somewhat.
Yeah, even if it doesn't get to the middle, I think he made it past that last low ceiling branch where you're able to get your nose up and get on top of the green, and that makes it a lot easier. And yeah, MJ, that's going to be his play. He's probably just kind of tossing it up to the top to get his par here. This did play as the hardest hole on the course for this round.
Okay, so Matt has a long bogey putt.
Yeah, he's on the green inside the circle. It'll probably feel like a 40-footer because it's so uphill. And Villa just far enough to be able to go under that branch and get his disc to still go up.
I wonder what he would shoot out here if he just threw a standstill backhand on every tee shot and every approach. I bet he would shred this course. And I guess he already has been shredding this course. It's just been so impressive to watch these approach shots that he throws so intuitively.
And no problem there for MJ. He's still only about 12 feet away, just putting from a step.
All right, this is for his bogey. Edge of circle 1. Okay.
No problem. That's a great bogey save. An errant tee shot, and then he got his other one into the ground where he wasn't much further than you really want to be off of the tee. And he was able to get up and down for the bogey.
And luckily, the player chasing him took a bogey as well. Justin moves back to 11 under.
Yeah, so that puts MJ now with the 3 behind. Up into second. As he taps in his par.
When you have a surging MJ and he's playing in the woods right alongside you, it's scary because he doesn't get affected by his card mates at all. He barely pays attention to what his card mates are doing. So you can expect him to just keep the momentum going. So we will see how this round unfolds.
And I talked to Villa a little bit about that tap-in he's got there. I think he said the first hole, he was a little upset, so that might be a little further than he normally does it from. But usually inside of 15 feet, I believe is what he told me. Or maybe even 10.
Hole number 7, we're going to cross the water. We saw it yesterday. It's very tough to land next to the basket on this one. You're either hitting that wooden guardian wall right in front, or you're sliding a little bit past the basket. MJ's really trying to land this soft. This is a comet. He's throwing nose up with a little anhyzer. Look at this soft landing. That's so... Everything he just did there is so high level. And what he's doing, this is not an overstable disc. This is a flippy comet that he snaps on this little nose-up anhyzer. Again, he didn't barely extend at all and got it to flip all the way over and flatten.
That's all just wrist and angle.
Pure wrist and angle. That's years, decades of experience and throwing all sorts of flying discs. Toy frisbees, golf discs, drivers. Matt trying to go for something similar. He's trying to land it on the terrace as well.
I was going to say, Matteo is all about the wrist and angle. That's kind of how his putt and throw go.
Yeah, and I made a really interesting observation after they posted a video of him wearing the Yankees jersey at 05 Worlds. His form has gotten even more old school than it used to look, which is so interesting. With all the players starting to change their form and modernize it, we see Eagle McMahon and Macbeth, and Matty O is starting to throw more nose up and air bounce on his shots.
And Chris Villa was trying to do the similar shot, threw a little more stable though, so it hyzered out. He'll be in circle 2.
Ooh, and look at this. This is going to be
A little low.
Yeah, and hopefully he sat down after hitting that wall. I think he did.
And even though there's not OB behind this basket, it's very easy on his hyzer. It could have stood up and rolled pretty quickly right there. The wood chips help out with that. He was able to just kind of sit, not move at all, have a tap-in par.
There it is.
And a great putt in between those trees there's from Justin. It's a little more uphill than it looks.
I'm going to go back and rewatch that shot from MJ 10 times. That is perfection.
As should all of you. It will help you.
And something that, MJ showed me when I went, I was living in Charlotte during the COVID lockdown, and before all the parks shut down, I was playing some golf with MJ, and I noticed that sometimes instead of putting more hyzer on the disc to stable it out, he would just throw it a little bit higher. And, controlling the nose angle rather than the wing angle. And he's so good at that. You watched how high he threw that Comet, and it gave it space to pan out to flat.
And a couple players bouncing back after the bogey there. Hole 8, 467 feet, very specific, or it's a very straight line, and then you want to turn left, ideally land about right here to have a straight look at this basket. If you don't push as far as that landing zone that I specified, the angle gets a lot trickier and you bring a lot other trees into play.
Oh, that is pretty far up there. He's got a pretty open look at the basket. He might be throwing a flick again, but we will...
Yeah, he's gotten past that landing
Yeah.
zone. And there is kind of an area, other than the straight gap to the basket. There, if you go past it, there's a little bit of space back there to get in.
A little bit of body English from Matty O, and he has sawed it off a bit too early.
And this is going down that inside fairway.
Oh, and he's nailed it.
Straight look at it. That's going to be great.
I am loving Justin Rosak's throw. He is super solid.
And hitting that same line, but a little more stable. He's on that left side. It's not bad over there, just not straight look.
Oh, boy.
Forehand roller.
No, he's going long flex, and he's hit the gap.
Just playing for a putt there. You see him not trying to reach the basket. Very smart veteran move. He's got a circle 2 look.
A little nose-up banger puts him to outside circle 1. So close to panning it nice and flat. Oh, no. Those are those micro mistakes that you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, oh my gosh.
And it looks like Chris does have a straight look in here. Turns it over a little bit, but he is still inside of circle 1 right there.
Yeah, he was way up there on his drive.
Wow.
Justin giving it a bid. Now he's 25, 30 feet from the basket for his par. And this is for a nice birdie from...
Yeah, he hit a tree maybe 60, 70 feet off the tee. Still got the birdie putt, and he knows it.
Oh, he's stoked. Yes. Give him the Gatekeeper rewind.
I want to watch him jump after this.
Oh!
Looks like he's got some skating skills there, maybe. Used to have some skates on.
Wow. That is a nasty birdie save on a really technical par 4. And here's MJ to match.
Knew it out of the hand as well. Watching these guys putt has been so much fun.
You know, I overheard a story. You know, MJ shot on hole 7, almost aced the basket, and apparently he looked away and didn't watch the shot finish, and someone told him that, as Villa puts in a beautiful putt as well for birdie, and MJ looked at the person who said, MJ, you almost missed the ace there, and he said, it wouldn't be the first ace I've missed.
Yeah, MJ known for turning around when he has thrown a good shot.
He just he knows instantly out of his hand. He knows when it's good. It is. On someone that I wouldn't consider to be a flashy human being, it's one of the flashiest things in disc golf that somebody does.
Yeah, and he doesn't do it to be flashy. That's just his style. He knows he threw a good shot. He's watched it before, so he doesn't need to watch it anymore. Hole 9, 301 feet. I heard Holly say on their coverage that this is her favorite hole on the course, but one of the touchier, tightest lines, I guess if you want to say line, is more of a throw it towards the gap and maybe you'll get through.
Dinosaur killer.
Oh, that one tree. You need to miss inside. It's tough to do that. And I can see why Holly likes this hole. You know, she's one of the better woods players in the FPO division. Consistently shoots well out here.
Correction, her second favorite hole.
Second favorite hole. Ooh, look at that.
And this is absolutely perfect.
Gosh. I'm speechless. That was so good. And this is all, again, he brings the disc up to his shoulder.
He's
playing catch.
You think he's so good at hitting lines because he releases from his eye? Like it just does.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It has changed over the years. If you watch him in 05, he has more of that, like, you know, Will Schustrick style straight extension. Now he's bringing it up to his eye level and just flicking his wrist. What an incredible drive on this hole from Matt Orum.
I believe that is the intended designed line, and I haven't seen a single disc do that line until we just watched Matty O's do it.
It might be the first time ever. The course designer might be very proud to have someone finally hit the line the way it was supposed to be hit. Oh, and Justin might be doing it as well.
Justin's trying to, he catches that middle tree.
And that's
wow.
It's blind too. I know we're both just blown away. There's a few shots this round that I'm gonna go back and rewatch.
They had a couple good upshots for par there. Par is a pretty common score on this hole. Yeah, it looks like we'll see 3 of them. And then Matty O's just, that shot's on another level.
Because he got it to move right instantly out of his hand.
And then stop.
And it's still flattened and stopped. Because, I mean, if you're turning that hard out of your hand, if you hit on any kind of cut angle, you're cut rolling left and you're not finishing the shot. You know, to have that control in the last quarter of the flight that's a pro move right there.
And I feel like this is the second or third time that everybody else has tapped in for par and Matty O comes up to tap in for birdie last.
The man is throwing the disc incredibly well right now.
Finishing the front 9 with a turkey to extend his lead.
And just one blemish on his scorecard. He's got 4 strokes on Michael Johansen, who shot a clean 5 under on the front 9. We are going to see him surging in the back. And as you see, everyone is shooting good right now.
Yeah, and he's still pulling away.
Thank you again for tuning in, folks. Make sure to subscribe to Gatekeeper Media on YouTube, and we will catch you for the back 9 coverage. Again, I'm Brian Earhart. He is Nathan Queen. We are signing off.
We'll see you guys out there.